Hi guys, this is Vidas,
And Ausra.
and let's start episode number 41 of Ask Vidas and Ausra podcast. And Ron sent this question to us. But first he writes, Hi Vidas and Ausra, you are the best teachers. The pedal training is really helping me to integrate my entire body into organ playing. It is a slow process but well worth it as you learn to slow down and get things right, which doesn't happen overnight, especially since the learning process is very biological and physiological. It is as if you are learning to keep your feet underneath you, metaphorically. Practice goes one step at a time, and life goes one step at a time. I have a question, rather questions. When playing on the pedals, for instance, E flat, then D, then C sharp, then D, D sounds different in each sequence. There is a sort of a shift of frequency in the mind. The D sounds higher in the first as compared to the second of the sequences. However, if you start on the D and go to the E flat, then D to C sharp, D sounds just fine, the same frequency. I realize it is physiological. It reminds me of the phenomenon of comparative colors, where one color seems shifted a bit depending on which other color it is next to. Is there any explanation for that? Does it affect air training? Is there an exercise to practice discerning notes like that? The most interesting part about learning the organ can be these small things. Thank you for your great programs, Ron. So interesting question, right?
Yes, it's a very interesting question.
Not many people bother thinking about those intricate details.
And not many people actually notice them.
Yeah. What I think is maybe it has something to do. Remember, we played a few weeks back in Stockholm, the German church, the old organ, and it had this mean tone temperament. And in mean tone temperament, when you play chromatic scale, certain notes basically sound higher and certain notes sound lower.
Yes.
So if you play D, as Ron said, and then E flat, and then D, and then C sharp, exactly, C sharp would sound lower.
Sure.
Even
That's
though
right.
it is like a in D minor, but it would be like leading tone. But C sharp is lower in mean tone temperament, and E flat is sort of closer to D sharp.
Yes, and I think that also might be related to the position of the pipes in the organ case. Too.
Exactly. Let's say I don't know what kind of organ he plays, but if we have this classical C and C sharp
Yes,
layout, pipe organ, then basically pipes are positioned in the diatonic steps: C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, B flat are on the left side, and C sharp, then D sharp or E flat, then F, G, A, and B are on the right side.
Sure.
So this means that D is in one side, and C sharp and E flat are on another side.
And depending on if you are ascending or descending from that note D, it might sound different, while going one way or another. Acoustically, because pipes are standing in the different sides of the organ case.
That could be it. But you know what Ron writes, that when you play on D and go to E flat and then to D and C sharp, D sounds just fine, the same frequency. It's similar, different feeling when you go upward and then downward for him. But maybe it has something to do with some kind of physiological feeling. What kind of note is next to each other, like
Well,
colors.
that's true. For example, when I practiced on the organ, for example, on the pipe organ, sometimes I hear, like principal chorus. For me, it's the same as, there would be voices, human voices singing.
Mm-hmm.
I get that feeling. It's very strange, but
And some people really can discern colors from chords
sure, like Olivier Messiaen did.
and Stravinsky, and maybe Chilonis too.
I don't know about Chilonis.
His musical works are so um, so similar to paintings, so influenced by his paintings, and vice versa. Paintings are influenced by music. So the second part of Elran's question is there an exercise to practice discerning notes like that? Can you develop this sort of air training where you can hear the sounds differently?
I think some people might, some not.
Yeah, it depends on your personality probably.
But I think Ron would be excellent, organ tuner. He could tune organs very well because he hears all these
Vibrations.
vibrations. So that's an excellent skill.
Right, and of course it's not easy to hear it for regular people, right? So if Ron hears this, it's a gift, I would say.
Yes, definitely.
Keep it and practice hearing different vibrations even more. Practice makes the more you practice, the better you will become probably with listening to different vibrations. Even if you go to the church when somebody else is playing, walk around, right? Because you will hear different vibrations
Sure,
of any
definitely.
other pipes. For example, have you ever walked around when myself or other people were playing in our church?
Yes, and it sounds very different actually from different angles of the church.
How different?
Well, very different.
And what is different?
Well, everything.
Like what?
The power of the organ, of the sound actually is, in some places, it's really loud, but in some places it's quite soft. And actually, in some parts you can hear like different organ stops. So it's very interesting.
And even different pitches making themselves louder than others. For example, under one balcony or one column, you can hear E flat. I remember very well. Or when you climb the organ balcony on those staircase, you can hear the pedal voices very well, right?
Sure. So it's very interesting.
Acoustical marvels.
I wish modern architects would think more about acoustics when they are building new churches, because some of them just have dead acoustics.
Oh, this is too much to ask. I think a lot of organists even don't think about organs. A lot of architects don't think about organs.
Sure, definitely.
Don't leave a space for the instrument when they plan the church. Excellent, guys. Please send us more of your questions, and the best way to connect with us is through our blog. Subscribe to organduo.lt, and then you reply to any of our messages, and we will reply to your questions on this podcast. And make sure you also practice pedal work like Ron. By the way, do we have courses recommend to people who want to improve their pedal playing?
Yes, we have it.
Like pedal
Yes.
virtuoso, right? Because Pedal Virtuoso master course is designed to be able, for you to be able to play any type of pedal work easily and without struggle. At first, it might be difficult, right, Ausra? Because when you play those scales and arpeggios, sometimes people send us, those feedbacks at first, and they want to quit, and some people do quit. But those who persevere later are very, very joyful about this course, because you can play scales, arpeggios, legato, right? This is the basis for modern technique, and then you really can master any type of organ pedal line in organ composition without any struggle at all.
Sure, nothing comes easy, at first, but you must put some effort in it, and then you will have excellent results.
Right. So I'll put a link at the description of this conversation too, so that people could check out this course. Wonderful. So guys, this was Vidas
And Ausra.
And remember, when you practice,
Miracles happen.